Let me ask you something real. Has a man ever looked at you like you were his piece, his home, but when it came time to say something, he froze, like he's drawn to you, yet something inside holds him back? That tug of war you feel in his energy? That's not your imagination. That's the hidden dance of love wrapped in fear. See, we often think love comes in bold confessions, in red roses and long texts. But the truth is, love can be quiet, subtle, scared. And some of the men who love you the deepest don't even know how to say it. Maybe he's been hurt. Maybe he grew up believing that showing feelings was weakness. Maybe he's afraid that if he shows you the depth of his emotions, he'll lose control, or worse, he'll lose you. But underneath that armor, there's often a heart that's craving connection, aching for intimacy, and hoping you'll somehow see the truth he's too afraid to say. And that's what this video is about. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 6 signs that a man is deeply in love with you, but fear is stopping him from expressing it. These aren't the typical signs you read about in magazines. These are emotional signals, non-verbal cues, and behaviors that reveal what he's truly feeling beneath the surface. So, whether you're in a complicated situationship, trying to understand your partner better, or healing from a relationship where he never told you how he felt, this video is for you. Because love isn't always about what he says. Sometimes, it's about what he doesn't. Let's dive in. We live in a world where performance is everywhere. Social media trains us to show the highlight reel. Men are especially pressured to perform in love, to be charming, bold, funny, and impressive. But a real connection, it's not built on performance, it's built on presence. When a man is in love but scared, he may not dazzle you with poetic lines or Instagram-worthy dates. But you'll notice something else. He shows up, not just physically, but emotionally. He listens when you talk. He remembers what you said weeks ago. He leans in when you speak, not to fix you, but to feel you. That's presence. And it's powerful. Presence says, I may not have all the words, but I'm here. It's when he lingers after a conversation just a little longer. When he sits beside you and doesn't check his phone. When he doesn't rush to give advice, but simply lets you vent. This type of presence is his love speaking without sound. It's subtle, yes, but it's sacred, because presence requires courage. And when he's scared to fall, scared to be vulnerable, but still chooses to be fully with you, that's love finding its way through the fear. If you feel his presence consistently, even in silence, that's sign number 1. Here's a truth we don't talk about enough. Men crave emotional safety just as much as women do. But very few feel safe enough to show their heart. When a man has been hurt, ridiculed, or conditioned to suppress his emotions, vulnerability becomes dangerous. Even when he's in love, he hesitates. Not because his love is weak, but because his fear is strong. He might say, I'm not good at talking about feelings, or he might stay silent altogether. But here's the secret. If he begins to open up, even in small ways, that's huge. Maybe he tells you about a failure he regrets. Maybe he shares a childhood memory. Maybe he simply says, I had a rough day, and trusts you enough to be seen. When a man is scared but in love, he tests the waters, he shares a little, waits to see how you respond, then maybe shares more. And every time you respond with empathy, softness, and safety, you earn his trust. And with trust, love begins to unfold. Don't underestimate those small windows into his soul. They're not accidents, they're connection attempts. When he starts to feel emotionally safe with you, even if just for moments, that's love, trying to grow. Now let's talk about a tricky one. Confidence versus arrogance. A man who is in love but scared often walks this tightrope without even knowing it. Confidence is quiet. It allows space for both of you. It doesn't need to prove. Arrogance, on the other hand, is loud. It hides insecurity. It's a mask worn by a heart that fears being rejected. If you see a man constantly making jokes to deflect, boasting about his career, or dominating conversations, he might not be full of himself. He might be full of fear. A fear that if you see the real him, his insecurities, his wounds, his softness, you might walk away. But then, there are those small moments where the mask slips. He admits he doesn't have it all figured out. Where he lets you see his real self. That's confidence sneaking past the fear. So if you're watching him shift between these two states, know this, he's probably in love, but he's also terrified. The key is to pay attention to when the arrogance fades. If in quiet moments, he becomes more grounded, more sincere, that's his heart, trying to break free. We often think love is about grand romantic gestures, but the real proof, it's in the details. It's in how he listens. When a man is in love but scared, words might fail him, but actions won't. Does he remember what you said 2 weeks ago about your work presentation? Does he know your favorite drink without asking? Does he notice your mood shifts, even when you try to hide them? That's not a coincidence. That's attentiveness. That's care. And it's one of the most honest signs of love. A man who's scared to express his feelings might not say I love you, but he'll do the little things. He'll drive you home when you're tired. He'll fix something without you asking. He'll sit quietly beside you when you're upset, because he doesn't want to leave you alone with your sadness. This kind of listening is deeper than hearing words. It's listening with the heart. So if he pays attention to your needs, your moods, your stories, know this. He's loving you in the way he knows how, even if his words haven't caught up yet. Let's talk about intimacy, not just physical, but emotional, spiritual, and energetic. When a man is scared to show love, he often shows it through generosity, but not the obvious kind. It's not about expensive gifts or flashy dinners. It's in his willingness to give you his time, his attention, his protection. It's when he checks if you got home safe. It's when he changes his plans to be there for you. It's when he offers comfort when you're sick, or sad, or overwhelmed. Generosity in intimacy also means he pays attention to what you like, what makes you feel loved, and he adapts. Not because he has to, but because it matters to him that you feel good. He may not be ready to say he loves you, but his actions are already writing the love letter. This kind of giving doesn't seek anything in return. It's not performative, it's pure. When a man gives like this, despite his fear, he's showing his heart. Aftercare is everything. We think intimacy ends when the physical connection ends, but that's just the beginning of emotional bonding. Does he hold you after? Does he check in emotionally? Does he stay connected, even after the moment passes? If yes, you're seeing a man who cares deeply. Men who are scared of their feelings often struggle to express them during emotionally vulnerable moments. But aftercare is their silent way of saying, you matter to me, that moment mattered. It's the way he tucks you in, the way he texts the next day, the way he stays present, even after the physical spark fades. Aftercare is love, wrapped in protection and softness. And if he does this, even inconsistently, it means something profound is happening inside him. He may be scared, but love is finding a way. Here's the truth most people miss. The deepest love often hides in the quietest corners. It's not always loud. It doesn't always come with declarations or drama. Sometimes, love shows up in the way he protects your peace, in how he listens, even when you're silent, in the space he holds for you, even when he doesn't have the words. So if you've been wondering whether he loves you, look past what he says, watch what he does, because scared love is still love. And sometimes, the strongest hearts are the slowest to speak. If you've seen yourself or your relationship in any part of this video, let me remind you of something powerful. Love isn't always about speed, it's about depth. When a man is in love but scared, he's battling more than just feelings. He's battling the past, his insecurities, and the weight of vulnerability. You don't need to force a confession. You don't need to demand a label. What you can do is create space. Let him know that love doesn't have to be loud to be real. That safety, patience, and softness can build a bridge over fear. And when that happens, when fear meets empathy, something beautiful is born. Trust. So stay open, stay grounded, stay wise, because you too deserve a love that's not just felt, but understood. And remember, the loudest I love you might just be the one he never says, but always shows. Let that sink in. And if this resonated with you, share it. You never know who needs to hear that their love is valid, even when it's quiet.